Welcome back to a new video. Today's review is on iCarly Season 3 Episode 9 entitled I Create a New Ecosystem, with the official synopsis being, when Gwen comes to visit, Carly and Freddie are determined to prove Millicent has a supportive ecosystem around her. Spencer mistakenly shares a secret amongst her friend group. Harper attempts to make up for traumatic childhood memories. And before I give out my review, please like the video, dislike the video, click on notifications, follow me on Instagram, Letterboxd, and TikTok for more reviews. When it comes to episode 9, I think that episode 9 was a pretty good episode, as most of the storylines in here worked and just gives us a few possibilities of what the huge finale could possibly have in store, and I am going to explain why. When it comes to the story arcs in here for episode 9, I felt that a lot of them were interesting, such as Gwen coming back to town, Freddie trying to prove that Millicent has a good ecosystem around her, Spencer trying to help Lewbert and Marissa's problems before they get married, and just Harper trying to overcome a few traumatic memories in her childhood. Like, a lot of the characters had something to work with, and I think this was probably the first time in a long time that all of the characters were in at the same place, even the side characters. Like, when it comes to the Gwen storyline, that was an interesting storyline, honestly. Like, it was always nice to see Gwen come back, but you could say that her personality definitely did take like a 180 from season 1. If I recall correctly, back in season 1, she was like a lot more positive, a lot more energetic, but she just came off a little bit more aggressive, sometimes rude, but a little bit understandable when you look at her side. Like, Carly and Freddie trying to prove to Gwen that everything is all good and everything else. Like, it was funny, and just everything that you would expect to go wrong does go wrong. From the t-shirts, Fafupa, the Fafuda party, it's just a whole lot of craziness with that story, but I still think that it covered a few important topics, and it was just a pretty good story arc altogether, honestly. With the Spencer, Lewbert, and Marissa storyline, that storyline in here wasn't bad as well too. Like, Spencer trying to help Lewbert and Marissa just solve their problems before the wedding in the next episode, as the episode, as I mentioned, does a good job with probably just giving us just a few subtle hits on what the big thing could be in the season finale. Like the proposal, either Carly and Freddie are possibly moving in together. The proposal, like, I think might happen, or this one. I kind of don't want this one to happen, but if it does, I will be very surprised. But things happen. Carly possibly being pregnant, as that would honestly be a little bit shocking. That would be just like, whoa, like, okay. Like, the reactions that everyone had when Carly was pregnant, that news was just understandable, was just crazy. Like, I can't wait for the finale, but that storyline in here, it was interesting. It has some interesting moments. Like, it's about to get crazy, I'll just say that. And as far as the Harper storyline, I wish that they would have done a little bit more when it came with her storyline. Like, instead of her just like talking about it, I wish they would have just shown her trying to like overcome the memories by like overcoming her fears of the memories, like attempting to do something that would help her overcome it. But just having her talk about it and just not doing much with it, it was a little bit disappointing, honestly. Like, it's always good to see Josh Peck as Paul in here. Like, it's really good to see him, and his story in here was kind of funny, trying to hit on Gwen and everything else. Like, I get it, but come on now, like, you supposed to be this high-tech guy, like this high man, like, come on now, like, what you doing? But still, but yeah, the episode just ends with just Carly just having a huge freak out because of Lewbert's bugs just coming out, a huge bug infestation at Spencer's apartment. So yeah, another weird, crazy ending for season 3. As previously mentioned, I felt that episode 9 in here was pretty good, as all of the characters had something to work with, and I think that this was the first time in a long time or ever that all of the characters inside characters were all in the same place all at once. Like, that was definitely interesting and just really unique. Performances were good. Nobody in here had a bad performance. Episode was nicely directed. And yeah, we are just one more episode before the season 3 finale. And I'm sad that the show is ending. I think a season 4 is very possible now. It's very much likely going to happen. And as far as the huge finale cliffhanger or whatever it could possibly be, my predictions on what might happen for the finale when it comes to a few different things will probably be either Freddie proposing to Carly. I think that is possible. I think it's possible. Like, Carly did mention that she could possibly become Mrs. Benson one day. The other one is Carly and Freddie moving in together, as this episode does a good job with that subtle hint, like Lewbert and Marissa arguing about who's moving in with who, and I just think that that is a possibility as well too. And the last one, Carly being pregnant. I kind of don't want this to happen. Like, for some reason, I just don't want that one to happen. If it does, I'm not going to be upset. Like, this episode does mention that Carly and Freddie have been doing things off screen, of course. And just everyone's reaction when Spencer revealed that Carly is pregnant was funny. It was interesting. And even Freddie was shocked, like, "You're pregnant?" Like, hey, what if she is pregnant? And maybe somebody making a return. Very unlikely, but you never know what could happen. But I would say that out of all, this was a pretty good episode. I cannot wait for the finale, as I know that this wedding is about to go crazy and just go wrong in all places. But until then, thank you for watching, and until next time.